That's a cold hit sitting on the feeder. Hopefully it'll come back. It's hard to get video of cold hits. Very nervous, and now the dog is after wandering out because I'm here. And the neighbours are doing some work. Yeah, there's the cold hit on the... Yeah, that's him. Yep. And the cold hit is about a little bit size of a blue tit, maybe even a little smaller, and it has a white stripe on the back of its black head. And there's a grey tit. It's much bigger. It's a fantastic bird. Now the dog is wandering around like a drunk in front of them, trying to eat. Wants to actually get food because this dog has an appetite like you won't believe. And wants to eat the feeder food. She's terrible. She's scaring the birds. But now she's wandering off. So there's the cold hit again. It looks like a grey tit, only much smaller, and it has a very distinctive white stripe. And there's a house sparrow, a male. They're lovely birds. Jackdaws came along. They're trying to get the food that's knocked out of the feeders. There's a blue tit. That's another blue tit, a bigger one. There's a grey tit, which is the biggest of all of those birds, of that family. They're very colourful. They're really colourful. And when it snows and you see the white and they're against the white, they look like parrots. There's a female house sparrow taking seed. There's the grey tit back again. The grey tit is an aggressive, well, very dominant kind of bird. It doesn't mind driving other birds off. You know, the blue tits are cheeky little creatures that are able to stand their ground. I'm a big fan of the sparrows though. They've had it tough in some places. The grey tit has found the fat ball feeder. They're all balls of fat and seed. So they like the peanuts best. But there's a good mixture of seed of every kind. This is a great time of year to be feeding them. And all of these birds are seed eaters. I mean, they eat insects too, most of them, and spiders. But they love to feed on seed and peanuts. And here comes trouble to scare them all off. Probably the most exciting thing you can do in winter is put out bird feeders to see what birds are actually going to be attracted to them. Winter is actually a brilliant time for finding exotic birds. Sometimes it gets so cold on the continent that they actually they fly across from continental Europe, sometimes from as far away as Siberia, and they look for food. And when it gets cold, we have a very cold north wind, and so you get all sorts of birds coming down out of the hills, that ones you wouldn't normally see. Now I'm just checking a bird feeder. It's twilight, so it's a little bit late in the day, but sometimes that's also the time when unusual birds show up. So far we have just a blue tit sitting on the feeder. The others might be more nervous, so I'll have a look again. So there's that blue tit, and you can see it's twilight, it's very dark. The blue tit is going to keep eating though. Small birds need to get a lot of fat into them to make it through the night, and sugar as well. They like carbohydrate, build up the amount of fat they can store, because fat, remember, it isn't just energy, it's also insulation. Because if you store fat on your body, it warms you, keeps you warm. Which is why sea animals like whales and seals have a lot of thick fat.